the IOD as an organization, the Institute of Directors, is what it says on the tin. It is the Institute of Individual Directors. So we represent around about 20,000 directors, both here in the UK and also internationally, have just around about 2,000 international members. So as you said, the IOD had been through quite a difficult time. And that's actually a good time to join an organization, because when you have to reassess what you stand for and reassess how you're going to be relevant to the future, that's actually a very exciting time to become involved in any organization. So I arrived at the back end of 2019. Then, of course, we had Brexit, and then we had COVID. So the importance of keeping true to the core value and the core purpose of any organization is refined in the heat of crisis. Some of you may be aware that I have spent, and if you Google me, you'll find that I spent quite a lot of time in the outdoors. I was very fortunate to walk to the North Pole in 2006. I've done exploration all over the world and worked with teams, high performance teams in the outdoors, both with military and with civilian teams. Now, the reason for mentioning that is really around this notion of purpose, and a purpose that is driven and drives people to do extraordinary things. So the first thing really that I believe we should do when we're reassessing, and this is a great opportunity to reassess as we come out of COVID, is what do we stand for? What does the organization we have actually exist to do? Many of you will be very familiar with Larry's letter, Chief Executive of Blackstone, and the whole refocusing of many investors around the areas of ESG, and indeed the sense of purpose that drives the future employees of any organization. We talk about the millennials, but there's a whole new group of employees that are coming through that care less about the financial aspects, even of their own personal finances, than they do about what does the organization they work for or they admire stand for. So what does the IOD stand for? What is its purpose? And really that goes back to the very core of why it was set up in 1903, why it got its Royal Charter in 1906. It is, as I said before, we are here to do what we say on the tin with the Institute of Directors, the Institute of Individuals. We are here to create better directors for a better world. And what better time to be doing that? And the whole focus of attention that I would suggest is to try to get whatever we do down to a few words. And those few words, if you look across all organizations that you admire, you will find that they are driven by a few words or by one or two numbers. And those are the things everybody understands that you are there to do, that you are driven by, and that your purpose for existence is underpinned by. So purpose, for me, is the lifeblood of the organization. And if the blood of the organization is its purpose, then the hemoglobin and the way that oxygen attaches to the hemoglobin are the values. What you breathe in every day and you exhale are not values. You get rid of the rubbish, but you breathe in the values. You make them the lifeblood of the organization. And the values that we have looked at within the IOD are the things that drive the IOD. They are about agility. They are about leadership. They are about taking responsibility. And they are about communication. And over the course of the last year, I've been incredibly privileged to have spent time talking with the government leaders, also the opposition front bench, as the IOD has been one of the 5 main business organisations alongside the CBI, the FSB, Make UK, and the chambers in advising government as to how that they should respond to the crisis on behalf of business. And that has been an immense privilege, but it has also meant that we have had to be, and I have had to be absolutely true to the purpose of the IOD. We are here to improve the quality of directors with the long-term view that there will be no willful corporate failure in the United Kingdom. And that is based on the premise that by having effective well-trained directors who understand their position and their responsibilities, then they will not, by dint of anything other than a huge black swan event, and we've had a huge one, be in a position where their businesses will go bust because of ineptitude. And we've seen so many organizations where we've seen leadership asleep at the wheel. And the rebuttable proposition of the IOD is that by good training, by developing the skills of directors, by connecting directors one to another, and by being a clear voice for directors at government level, that we can improve the quality of directors and directorship in the United Kingdom for the benefit not just of better directors make better businesses, but better businesses drive a better economy, and a better economy in the United Kingdom is better for the global economy and the positioning of the United Kingdom in that global economy. So the essence of what we are about, and I would challenge you yourselves, I'm sure you do this on a regular basis, to reflect on what is the driver, what is the purpose, and what are the values that are underpinning that purpose to make your organization the organization that it deserves to be. The IOD deserves to be, and we are, I believe, the true authentic voice of directors in the United Kingdom. Whatever size, shape, color, creed, location of directors, we are where directors are. So we are across the United Kingdom. We have branches across the United Kingdom, and indeed as far afield now we've just opened in China. Of course, you would expect me to say that, having spent 10 years there, working with the Chinese government. In fact, I'm looking at corporate governance in China is a very interesting challenge, but I think one that it needs to be addressed there. And so I would just close by saying, and thank you ever so much, Richard, for allowing me to get on my soapbox, because you know it's one that I'm very passionate about. The sense of purpose that drives an organization needs to come from the top of the organization, but it needs to be also believed, understood, and in the lifeblood of every individual. And that also means making hard choices. And we've had to make some hard choices in the IOD. We do not now have all the people in the IOD now that were with us a year ago. Lots of reasons for that, but the driver at the moment is that if people don't feel that they fit, then that's fine. But this is what the organization stands for. This is what we're about. And we celebrate that focus of attention on better directors for a better world.